Hello everyone, my name is Jason, and in this video it's a bike check and an impressions video on the new Ibis Ripmo version 2. For reference, I'm about 5'10", 215 pounds. This bike is a Ripmo version 2 large. Now this bike is a bit of a unicorn right now because it's hard to get, and I'll tell you, every time I'm on the trails people recognize it. It just draws people attention to it all the time. They get very interested in it. Anyways, let's get into the bike check first. So let's take a look at this. So if we start from the front tire, and I'll go all the way up. Maxxis Ask Guy, 29 2.50 tires, laced to Industry 9 Enduro 305s. The Industry 9 hubs. We have a RockShox Lyric front fork, 170 millimeters of travel. Then, as we look at the cockpit on the Ripmo 2, we have Shimano XTR brakes. These are the, of course, dual piston brakes. And to me, Shimano's are the only way to go. But I've never, when it comes to SRAM. So I haven't been on Maguras, and I have not tried TRPs. So next we have a Race Face turbine stem, and underneath that we have a Cane Creek 110 headset. We have the N7 Envy bars, 12-speed XTR shifter. Then in the back again, Shimano XTR dual piston brakes with the Ice Tech rotors. I have 180 in the back. Maxxis Dissector in a 2.4. Down on the bottom, then we have an Absolute Black 32 tooth chainring. We have the Race Face. Next are cranks, XTR pedals. Then, as we go toward the back of the shock, we have the DBO Topaz rear shock. So the 210 by 55 by 50. The rear seat post is a PMW. This is a Bachelor dropper post from PNW. This is a 200 millimeter, and I like it because I can pretty much slam this all the way down to the bottom. So here I am on pretty flat trail, nothing too crazy, and the bike does not feel boring. Feels actually pretty fun. Yeah, it doesn't give you that feeling like, oh man, this is kind of boring. A slothful sort of feeling. Doesn't feel that way. In the beginning, I wasn't quite sure about this XTR 12-speed Hyperglide. The jury was kind of out for me on that. As I've been using it, it's actually quite nice. Very nice, actually. Shifts superb. And I've been trying to crunch the gears uphill. And me weighing about 215, wanting to see if how it's going to react to that. And allegedly, it's their claim that that's what it's designed for, to be able to handle that. And it handles that really well, really nice. One thing that I haven't really found myself using though is the front index finger shifter. It's underneath. It feels like it's just too far off to the left for me to reach it with my finger. I figured I'd kind of show you real quick what I meant. So if you could see that there, the index shifter is this part right here. And you should be able to reach over to shift through it. But I find my index fingers over here reaching very far. And it's strange because if you see it, this little lip here, you figure a better design would be to have it a little bit further over so that your fingers could reach it easily. Now it's brand new to me, so I'm not sure how to adjust both of those. I'd like to widen them a little bit. So if some of you guys know how to do that, I'll have to figure that out. Or if it's just set, it seems to be set. I can't figure out how to widen them, which is cool on the SRAM stuff. You can have them wider if you choose and have this up higher. Well, I have to say it shifts like butter. Really quick and fast. I like being able to dump multiple gears with your thumb to get into that high gear for climbs. If you're shooting out a downhill, then bam, up an uphill without the trigger shifter from a SRAM, you can hit that thumb, boom, and dump all those gears, which is nice. It's if you get a Ripmo built up, you don't have to get the XTR shifter. You can go with an XT shifter, but or you can go with an XT drivetrain and get an XTR shifter. Rear suspension, so supple with this rear shock from DVO. Good job, DVO. And for this bike being at 29 pounds, 2.5 inch tires, the Assegai in the front, dissector in the rear, it actually feels like a 28 pound bike. Feels a lot like my Tallboy LTC did. Very light, nimble, and quick. Very poppy, playful. It likes to get thrown in the air. Really sweet. Yeah, this thing's so easy to boost off of a jump. It wants you to boost it off something. It's so fun to boost off of something. So one thing I'm noticing about the Ripmo through this Nara chunk versus the original Ripmo, it feels much more stable. And the rear shock on this, glad I went with this one, is the DVO Topaz. Way more supple, way more plush than the Fox DPX2. I can notice the difference right away. A little bit more, not as plush, a little bit harsher. This one feels not so much that way. It just soaks it up. This DVO is really nice. Rumor has it in the future, allegedly Ibis plans to put this DVO shock on the carbon Ripmos. As of right now, it only comes on the Ripmo AF. Boy, I just can't say enough about these XTR brakes. So nice. But I would imagine the XT brakes are not that far off. As far as power goes, you're only saving on weight probably. Some titanium bits. Highly recommend Shimano brakes. This bike gets up to speed quickly and it just rails on these corners. So if you're wondering, has the Ripmo versus the Ripmo 1 lost that playfulness? No, I don't think so. It feels just as playful with more stability. Yeah, feels just as playful. Gives you that BMX feeling again that I said I felt on the original version 1 Ripmo. I just couldn't believe that a bike that big with that much travel could feel that playful. Is it worth upgrading from the version 1 to the version 2? I don't know. Yes, if you want a different color, there's the Bug Zapper blue, and then there's this gray. In the sunlight, you can't really tell, but this gray color has like a, it has like a little sparkle specks of metal flake to it. So tiny though that you could barely see it unless the sun is actually shining on it just right. And this clear tape that I have on the top tube and all over the bike, it kind of brings it out. But a lot of guys on the version 1 Ripmo, what they've done is they've put an angle set on it, and I mentioned that I think in the last video when I did the Ripmo review. So I think you could do a 2-degree angle set on the Ripmo. You'd have to go to the Works Components website and find out, but I think that's the case. I'm still getting slight pedal strikes. But the trade-off is you're getting this fast, agile bike, and it's lower to the ground, but it corners so quick and fast. Here's one of the things though I think I mentioned about the Ripmo is, well, actually, shall I say, let me clarify, the Ripmo version 1 is that this one feels similar in the fact that it is so fast and quick and agile that you got to be on your toes if you're going to get this thing up to speed. It'll get you out of a mess with quick turns and stuff, but I don't feel on it it's going to be like a mistake eraser and get you like, oh, it saved me from that. The Mega Tower, the Enduro, big bikes like that. Yeah, there's been a couple times already I'm flying through here and the bike just flies so quickly that it's not going to save me. I've got to keep my eye on it. So some takeaways from my impressions of this bike, who would it be for? And I would say if you're one of those with a really, really big bike and you're looking for something that you feel is a little more livelier, but can kind of give you still some of that confidence, inspiring, the whole reason you have that big bike, but you want something that doesn't feel as dull or as hard to really get something out of it, this would be for you. Or if you're one of those people who maybe you're on a
smaller travel bike like a 120, 110, and you're looking for something that's got a little more to it, not feel so dull, I would say this would be the bike for you. It's all the green grass.